Wow, it's not every day you get to come out of a backseat and flip in style. Sheesh moment right there. I gotta be honest with y'all. This thing, the Model X, the Falcon doors, this whole car, I've driven the 3, the Y, the S, but this is something else. This car is as wide as it can get. It's as big as it can get. It's spacious. It's just different than all the other models, including the flippin' S. Elon did say that this car is over-engineered, and he wasn't kidding when he said that. Every single part of this car, there's something to do with. It's crazy. In this video, I'm gonna tell you guys the things that I loved about this car, and pretty much my first impressions of it. The Model X is something else. You cannot compare this car with anything else, not even with the current models that's Teslas, the 3, the Y, or the S. So if you guys are ready for this video, smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It's gonna get juicy, man. Let's go. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the car. I'm gonna be driving while I'm gonna talk about it because it kind of helps with my thought process for some reason, and I can be more loose when I'm on camera, if that makes any sense. But let's start off with the space in this car, because the space in this car beats the Model Y and beats the Model S. If you guys watched the video from last year, the model that I just drove, the Model S, that car had crazy amount of space, but the X just beats that instantly because it's an SUV. You know, it's a crossover. I don't even know what it is. It's a higher upper version of the S, but more engineered, and we'll get to that in a second. But space. Front has a lot of space. The back has a lot of space. The back of the back has more space. It's ridiculous, if that makes any sense. You know, you can just pull up the thing underneath and you have so much space there. You can just put your whole entire room in there and you'll still have space. It's a lot of space this car has. Absolutely ridiculous. Even in the back seat when you sit, it can sit up to, I think it's 7 people, if I'm not mistaken. Around there, 7 people. But my God, this thing, it only has 5 seats, but just the amount of space. I had 4 or 5 people in the car the other day here, and they're all like, this is spacious, man. I don't feel crowded. I don't feel claustrophobic. It's spacious. But again, this car is a massive car. It's long, it's wide. It's the type of car that I can't drive. But because this is a Tesla, it has 6 cameras all around, and you know exactly where you are every single point of time, this car doesn't feel like as big. Not like the Mitsubishi that I have at home. That thing, I can't even, it's hard to see where I am on the road. But this thing, even though it's like almost twice as big as that, I can see exactly where I am on the road thanks to the 360 camera all around and this awesome display in front of me. Now again, I keep mentioning that this car is extremely flippin' spacious. The thing in front of you, the cupboards in front of you, it's like a rabbit hole, man. You gotta like push one slider away, then push another slider away, and push that away, and then it just keeps going lower and lower. It's crazy. The amount of space you can put in this car, you can't run out of space here because there's just so much darn space here. That's what I like about this car. A lot of space on this, and I'm pretty sure space is one big thing that I talk about Teslas. They all have a lot of space. The 3 has a lot of space, the Y has a lot of space, the S has a lot of space, but the X dwarfs all of them. Just has infinite space. It's crazy. Another thing that I love about this car, right off the bat, easily, is the suspension of this car. I've driven the S. The S has amazing suspension, all right? The Y did not have as good of a suspension. I was surprised to see the suspension of the Model Y was actually not as good. My Mitsubishi had better suspension than the Y. Now I know the 2023 models and onwards, they have amazing, much better suspension. But the one that I had was a 2022 and the suspension was very stiff, and I didn't like it. The potholes, I felt every one of them. Yeah, the Model 3 had better suspension than the Model Y, right? I mean, that tells you something. But the Model X, man, the suspension on this one, you don't feel anything on the road. You go on potholes, you go on, like, I just went on some sort of a bump and I barely felt that. Like, the suspension on this is a 10 out of 10 for me. Amazing. And you can even customize it too. You can lower it or higher the suspension to make it better for your needs, for your wants. You know, it's amazing how customizable this car is. Another thing that I have to mention about this car is the flippin' windshield. Man, it comes all the way back here, and the amount of view that you can get is absolutely flippin' awesome. When you're going the countryside or when you're going through a nice scenery, man, you can see everything. And that's amazing. You don't get that with any other car. However though, I do think that if there's a crack on this car, it's gonna be very expensive to replace or to repair, because I'm pretty sure Tesla is the only one that can really replace it. Just take a look how massive this thing is. It's flipping massive. Which other car company is making this massive of a windshield. Yeah, absolutely crazy. Another thing that I love about this car, I do think this car is, I don't know if it's a plaid or not, because a plaid would say in the back. This thing is flipping insane. Like, I'm not saying it's insane, I'm saying it has insane. It has chill, sport, and insane. That's flipping insane. Now, sadly, I can't really use it because the guy that I'm renting this off is off Toro, and he doesn't want people to take this on, you know, on drag strips and stuff like that, even though it has that mode as well. This thing is insane. It has the option of insane, and I wish I could try it out, but I can't. And you know, I'm gonna respect his rules, because you know it is his car. He is renting out to people, and it is a Model X. This thing is, you know, upwards of 150,000 to 200,000. In here in Canada, it's upwards of 200,000. So I can see why he's like he'll put a speed limit on it and not allow people to ruin it, you could say. All right, we're gonna talk about the Falcon Wings of this car. Obviously, when you get an X, that's the only brand at the moment. I'm sure they'll do all the crazy things. I'm very interested to see how the Cybertruck, what they're gonna do with that. But it's the only model, Tesla model, that has such door that opens like a wing. And as you guys saw in the intro, what a way to get out and get in a car. I mean, when you do it in a parking lot, everyone stares at you. That's like, oh, whoa, what the heck is that? You know, that's, you know, it goes up like that. It's a new style, and you know, the Model X is over-engineered, right? So I guess that makes sense. So that's absolutely awesome. Now, guys, honestly, this car, I have to put it in the luxury state, because the amount of things that this car can do ticks so many luxury boxes. No, go ahead. But this car, in my opinion, it's a luxury car. This car opens the door for you and it closes for you. You don't even need a valet, man. I mean, if you think a valet parking, I mean, once FSD comes here and does that, you don't even need a valet, you know, driver or valet parking to do it. It can just do it itself. That was surprising to me. The S couldn't do that. The 3 and the Y doesn't do that. I was surprised to see that the car opens up just like that. Now, I took this car from all the way from Richmond Hill, that's where I picked up the car, went all the way down to Toronto, went all the way up to Barrie, went to Collingwood, back to Barrie, back to Toronto, all in one charge. You guys don't know how long this was in terms of kilometer-wise? It's about 500 kilometers, and I still had 80 kilometers left. So this thing went almost 600 kilometers. Sheesh! That's insane. Range anxiety when it comes to Tesla, and people thinking, customers believing that range anxiety is a big thing. First of all, there's superchargers everywhere, and they're building it. Range anxiety after driving this all the way flipping up north and back. Not just this car, I took the Y and the 3 as well. You know, all of the road trips that I've done up north, that was like 3 hours, upwards of 1,000 kilometers up north and back, like back and forth. It was between 2, maximum 3 charges. This thing took me almost 600 kilometers in just one charge. Range anxiety is a flipping excuse. I don't care who it is. Yeah, maybe supercharger in some parts of a country or state or, you know, province is not there yet, but they're coming. Every 8 hours, they're building new superchargers somewhere around the world, and this will accelerate. 6 hours, every 6 hours they'll build it, because as soon as Tesla gets exposed to other markets, and you guys know I am in Kuwait, right? Or right now I'm in Toronto, but I work in Kuwait. There's no Teslas there. As soon as Teslas become a lot more popular there as they are right now, you can bet slowly they're going to be some superchargers coming there. No doubt about that. Don't bet against that. That's how it is. That's what's going to happen. So first it was 12 hours. Every 12 hours they're going to make superchargers. Then 8 hours. Then it's going to be 6. Then it'll get to a point where it's just every flipping hour, somewhere around the world, they're doing a flipping supercharger. And that's insane. Absolutely insane. But I'll be honest, guys. The Model X, it's hard not to love this car. It really is hard to not love this car. Forget that, I mean, it's different than all the other cars, but the way it drives, the way it looks, the way it feels when you drive. Again, the suspension, this car is amazing. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I had never driven a car with this nice of a suspension. But I can see why now people who have the Model X, they don't like to give it away. They don't want anyone to drive it. They don't want people to sit, you know, to take it for a day away from them. It's their car and their only. Shout out to Tesla Boomer Mama for telling me that's how people feel with the Model X when they have it, because she has a Model X and that's how she feels about it. And I gotta admit, I'm feeling about this car too. I'm returning this car tomorrow. I don't want to, man. I don't want to. By the way, guys, if you guys are in Toronto or in Richmond Hill or GTA, if you guys want to rent out this specific Model X, link in the below. Yeah, Win, shout out to you. I don't know if you watched these videos or not. I'm not too sure. But if you are, thank you for letting me rent your car. Awesome experience. Link in the description if you guys want to rent out his car. Very nice car. 2022, brand new, fresh. amazing experience. All right, so I talked a lot about the things that I liked about this car and how some of the parts surprised the heck out of me. Let's talk about the stuff that I didn't like about the car, because obviously can't be all pros. There is some cons. One of the things that I didn't like about the car is, you know, the windows. When they come up, they don't really come up. I mean, check this video out. And if you guys know what to do, comment down below. Guys, if you can tell me, why is the Model X doing this? I'm putting it up and it keeps going back. I go all the way up, it keeps going back. Like, what is this? I have to go up nice and slow to reach the top. But just, I don't know, why is it doing that? Look, it's so annoying. I have to go tiny bit by bit by bit by bit by bit to go to the top. So if you guys can comment down below in the comments, man, because I don't know why it's doing that. So this happens a lot, and I don't know why. Is it because the car is in park? Is that why? I don't know. So please let me know, comment down below. That really annoyed the heck out of me. Annoyed my family, annoyed my friends. It's like, why is it not going up properly? And it's just weird. The other thing that I don't like about this car, I mean, it's not like that I don't like it. I don't mind it, but I prefer the full steering wheel. Like, this thing is halfway. If this car had a full FSD, full self-driving, and it was driving itself most of the time, yes, this yoke would make more sense. But here in Canada, most of the cars that are being rented that are Teslas don't have FSD. They do have autopilot though, but autopilot can only be used in mainly highways because it's just straightforward. But for the most part, you are going to be driving something like this, doing, like, you know, a hand over hand turn or just turning around. It's a little bit inconvenient. That's a little bit I just don't like the half steering wheel unless the car is full FSD. But I don't mind it. My hand has adjusted to it. I've, you know, adapted to it. Just sometimes my hand slips, right? And that's not good. Thankfully, this car just stops by itself if something comes in front of it. I mean, this car is so smart. I love it. Other than that, thinking about the cons, these are the only things that I didn't like about the Model X. The Model X is probably the least things that I just didn't like about it. I mean, there's only two things I don't like about it. So that is a sheesh moment on its own. But overall, guys, the Model X, it's something else. It's over-engineered in a good way, right? Over-engineered in a good way. It does things you never thought it could do. It's just insane what this car can do. It's so smooth. You sit so high up. You don't need a valet. The thing can do the things for you. It's just the full self-driving is missing on this car. Other than that, this thing, you can do everything in this car. You can do shopping, daily driver. You can man, that's why my next car is gonna be a Tesla. Now the Model X is out of my range. You know, I'm all into Tesla stock. I mean, I know if I do pull it out, yeah, I can probably get it. But nope. I'm actually buying more Tesla shares because it's flipping cheap right now. But anyways, the Model X I am in love with, and I don't want to return it tomorrow. Sadly, I do. Otherwise, I get arrested and go to jail, and I don't want to do that. So when Tesla stock does 10x, you already know the Model X is in the list for that. This car, man, this car is really nice. This car, I don't know. I'm debating between the S Plaid and the X. Which one is the first for me? I'll know by end of tomorrow. But next car is definitely going to be a Tesla, maybe a Model 3, depending how I can get it in Kuwait. But for sure, next car is a Tesla. No question asked. But there you guys have it. The Model X. First impression, it's something else. It's ridiculous. It's a sheesh moment, and it's not a car. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, all the Teslas that I've driven, they're not cars. They're robots. They're something else. They're a different experience. If you're a Tesla bear, if you're against Tesla, you don't know Tesla, you think any other car company can make cars like Tesla, I recommend you to go rent out the simplest one, the Model 3. And just test drive it for just test drive from Tesla. They'll do it for about an hour or whatever, and it'll change your mind. They are something else. When you sit, if you want to know the future, you gotta, just sit in a Tesla. That's what the future is gonna look like, and it's starting to look like that too. And yeah, that's my review of the X. Amazing car. Comment down below if you guys have driven the X or any other models of Tesla or just any EVs. I really want to try a Rivian and the Mach-E Mustang. I want to see how that is compared to the Tesla. Well, I don't know if I can do it this trip or not, but nonetheless, comment down below. I'm very curious to know what you guys think, because I'm very curious. Now, if you guys want to know what the stock price is going to be by 2030, check the video right here, man. Tesla stock in 2030 is going to be absolutely insane. Get some merch here. I actually made a new merch. Buying the dip, buying the dips, just dollar cost averaging. It's a new shirt I just made. And it's not a shirt, it comes in anything and everything, phone cases, all that kind of stuff. Check it out and use a 10% Rip Bears. So use that, 10% off, and subscribe for more. And I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya.